Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. I already see people in the chat. All right, I got Clint Coombs in the house dropping membership emotes already. Good to see you guys. Hope everyone's doing well. I see Nisa Hauer. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Oh man, guys, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, Summer Game Fest Play Days, Ubisoft Forward, which I was on a plane for. I'm tired. I feel like I look like I'm tired too. It's wild, and I'm rearranging the room, so like stuff's in different places. Oh man, how's everybody? How's everyone doing? I haven't talked to you guys. I've been so focused on being at Summer Game Fest, being at the Xbox Showcase, talking to people that I didn't get to see like my people, right? Like I didn't get to see like my everyone that like channel members, Discord, all that stuff. So it's really good to see you guys. And I'm exhausted, man. I'll tell you what. I'll work backwards briefly while people are arriving. Good to see you, RSJ fan. Nisa Hauer, so good to see you. Baron J, not J67, not 97, 67. Good to see you, buddy. K Asante, good to see you. You came home with the con flu? Man, I gotta tell you, I'm drinking emergency right now, and like I'm feeling a little something. They're like, oh, and I saw Steven Totillo put out that he has COVID. And I'm like, come on, man. So I have a feeling it's coming, but I'm trying to fight it. Baron, it's good to see you, buddy. It was good to see you in person. So yesterday was a 15-hour travel day for me, 15 plus. So I got up at 4 a.m. Pacific, which was really 7 a.m. Eastern. So like to me, it didn't feel like 4 a.m. But I got up early because last time I had such a bad experience at LAX. And I went to the airport early to beat like traffic and beat TSA because like last time I had such a bad experience at LAX that I passed out on the plane. It was really bad. It was just that bad. And so I made sure I got there early. And so I got there early, got through TSA, did okay, got some breakfast, made sure I ate. Last time I was in the LA for 2019, like this is it's okay to say now, but like I was pinching pennies. So like I was skipping meals and stuff. So I passed out on the plane back. I made sure not to do that this time. Ate breakfast, but then I had a 5-hour flight to Charlotte, and then Charlotte had a 2+ hour layover, and then a 30-minute flight to Raleigh. I could have driven to Charlotte. It was crazy. And then from there, drove 2 hours home. It was so wild. So I didn't get home till late last night, and I slept hard. Kay Asante, I got to see him in person. Incredible human being. Spent some good time. We had a couple dinners together. I learned a lot from KS on. I'm gonna put his name up here for anyone that's not following. He's there. He's talking to Baron, but I'll talk about KS Ante first. Incredible human being. You should subscribe to him, especially if you're a PC gamer or dabble in PC, because every Monday, I think it's Gaming Circle podcast is the one where he talks PC and teaches people all about PCs, hardware, STEM. So if you're interested in science, technology, engineering, math, he knows all about it. He literally, I overheard a conversation with Kay Asante having with, I want to say it was Idle Sloth, and Idle said something, and then he goes, "Oh, I bet it was an Intel processor," and then it was just like out of nowhere, there he was, right? Like he was right, and so it was fun to hear his knowledge. So follow him if you're interested in PC gaming, and then Saturday mornings I watch Asante before XEP. Like while I'm getting my coffee and getting settled, I watch Asante. So you should give him a shout and a look. Nisa had a 4-hour over Minnesota last year. Oh man, it's rough. It's rough. I was bored. And I'll shout out Baron J67, who I got to see at Summer Game Fest's presentation, like the theater event, which was fun and enjoyable, but like the highlight was the people, right? And so I got to see Baron. And it's funny when you see all these people that you know, like I see them all on screen, and then in real life, sometimes it's just like, bam, there's my friend. I know who they are. There we go. Other times it's like, who are you? Like, what's your avatar? Like, an incredible human being, David Burdett, works at Gaming Trend. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, Luke, what's going on?" And I was like, "Hey, guy." And then he goes, "Split End." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's up?" And I was so excited to see him. And so there are those like weird moments where it's like, I know you immediately, and other ones where it's like, I need to know what your name is, who you are, like what's your handle or what avatar are you? And then it's easy going. Totally get it. So that was fun. Let's see. Logan says Luke doesn't like change. He's right. He's right. I do not like change. I have a hard time with it. For sure. For sure. But let's give a shout out to Captain Logan, because in my absence, and he did something I don't know how to do. I'm gonna have Logan teach me this. He did a live reacts to the Xbox showcase, which you guys can see on the channel right now. So he watched the showcase with viewers and listeners, which was really cool. I'll confess, Logan, I haven't watched it because I've just been so like go, 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 go. So I've not actually watched a lot of our friends' content, but huge shout out to Captain Logan. Please, if you don't follow him or if you haven't checked out Keelhauled, do so. The coolest part about Keelhauled right now, I think, is that they've got season 13 on the way. By the way, I saw Craig Duncan. That was neat. But they've got season 13 on the way, and it looks incredible. Looks absolutely incredible. So I'm excited to talk to Logan come Saturday, like on the show, about his thoughts, because I was there in the room. He was watching it live. Those are two different experiences, and the reception to those vibes are very different. So I'm anxious to see that. Logan's live reaction to Gears was aces. Well, I can tell you, man, it was pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting. And I got confirmation. I can say this now. There's not many people watching at the moment. So I'll say this to you guys here, and I'm not going to tweet it till tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, Cliff Blazinski is going to join me on the channel for a couple minutes to talk about the Gears trailer. So there's your little insight. There's your little insight. If you guys are watching right now, now you know Cliff's going to be on tomorrow with me. I chatted with him a few minutes ago, confirmed it. So that should be fun. Yeah, exclusive. I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Provided and Asante was saying, provided the con flu doesn't get me, right? Like this is emergency. So provided it doesn't get me. So that'll be fun. Nisa saying South by Midnight looks cool. Yo, all right. You know what? I'm going to stay on Gears, and I'm starring your comment. I'm going to come back to it, Nisa. Gears of War was incredible. The reception to that in the room, like as soon as we saw the logo on the TV in the trailer, Ains and I were doing that thing where like you start slapping each other's leg. We're like, look. It was funny. But yeah, man, that trailer looked so good. It looked so good. And I don't know about you guys. I immediately knew it was a prequel. Like I immediately just somehow knew, because when Marcus got dropped and bodied onto the ground, it was a locust that did it and not a swarm. And like my lore heavy self was like, yo, that's a locust. That they're swarm now. What's going on? And so I immediately just clicked over. This is a prequel. Some people had the vibe that they thought it was the collection. Others were like, that's Gears 6 and that's actually JD. No, like I immediately knew. And so I'm actually very, very stoked. I would have been stoked no matter what, because I love Gears. But I thought that trailer was so good. Yeah. Clint saying the way they had the Mad World music, so good. So good. I just the whole vibe to the trailer nailed it. And I saw, again, I was traveling, so I might have missed here and there, but I saw like conversations about it going back to horror roots, and the trailer definitely conveyed that. And so I'm very excited to see kind of what they do. Sometime, I think I'm ready to do this. I'm going to make a video about how Gears saved my life. I know I've talked about it before, but Gears genuinely did save my life, and I'm going to make a video on it. But I want to do the proper like warnings on it when I do, because there's, self-harm and stuff was a factor at the time. And so, but Gears was just so instrumental. I had a good conversation with Kelly Lombardi over at Xbox about how impactful Gears has been on so many gamers like myself and others, just how much Gears has mattered to so many of us. And like my story is very personal with Gears. In talking to her, so was hers. She seemed to really have not a similar story, but like similar in terms of like the impact Gears has, right? And I think a lot of people have similar feelings, because Gears was special. Gears was my first Xbox game. If you don't know that, Gears of War was my first Xbox game. It was the first time I ever used Xbox Live, my first game using voice chat. It was that for me. So that's kind of cool. RSJ fan in the house saying he loves Gears. I agree. Cannot agree more. I love Gears. It's just such a powerful one. Nisa saying South by Midnight looks cool. I could not agree more. South by Midnight looked amazing. I will openly admit, like watching the trailer. Hey, Sourblow, good to see you. Hope you're well. Watching the trailer for South by Midnight was odd because that framey look that it does and it's pre-rendered, I get queasy watching. I don't know if anybody else does, but like I get like uneasy and I'm like, what is this? I do not like that framey look. But then when they showed gameplay, I was so pleasantly surprised. Like a third person action game that I don't know if brawler is the right word. I don't think we saw enough to really go with that, but like a third person action game, like let's go. The protagonist was fun and funny. The art style and motion looked fantastic. I was really stoked on South by Midnight. I thought South by Midnight looked incredible. And it quickly rose to one of my most anticipated. But the funny thing about this whole showcase was I loved almost every game. And so almost all of them jumped into my, like, I got to play this game, right? Kay Asante saying they've already said they'll give you the option to remove the stop motion effect in the accessibility settings. That's fantastic to hear. Thank you, Asante. Straight up, I'm so excited just to hear that because I do not like that. And I know some people do. And the ability to just do both is fantastic. Whenever I get accessibility options, I remove motion blur and any grain effects that I can get rid of. I don't like grain effects over on my screen, and I don't like motion blur. I have no idea what chromatic aberration is, by the way. Every time I see it, I still don't know. I should have had Asante just explain to me in person, like I'm 5. Let's see. You guys are fast and furious here. I love it. So, Chris from 1H1D, good to see you, buddy. Says, did I get a chance to play Replaced? So no, I did not, but I watched it played. Like I stood next to, watched, talked to the developers briefly. Replaced is not a Luke Lore game, but it was really cool to watch. Ironically, if you guys know Kyle Stevenson from 6-1 Indie, he was working on Inotria, the last song. And when I played Inotria, Replaced was right next to it at Play Days. And so I watched a lot of Replaced, talked to the people around it. Everyone seemed very high on it. And I'm anxious to find out, but I did not play Replaced myself. So take that how you will. Clint saying Expedition 33 had him cheering. Expedition 33 looked awesome. Expedition 33 looked amazing. I was really impressed. And that's Ben Starr's voice. That's just wild. Like Ben Starr's voice really added a lot of weight to that trailer. And I really liked it. I did not expect to like it. Because I don't know about you guys, but like when I see a no comment, Baron asks if I played Stalker 2. No comment. I didn't get to play it. I did watch it and talk to people about it, but I didn't get to play it myself. But I can't say more than that. Yeah, I can. It looks good. That's what I'll say. Whatever. I don't care. So where was I? Replaced. It looks good. Let's see. What was the next question? I'm Expedition 33. Right. Expedition 33. A lot of those games can look very samey to me, like those third-person Souls-likes have begun to kind of run together for me. And I thought Expedition 33 stood out. I don't even know if it is a Souls-like, but I kind of got that vibe from it. And it stood out, and I thought that was great. I thought that was just a beautiful concept and idea that everybody of that age gets wiped out. That was a cool just thought process and thing. So I thought that was really, really neat, right? Yeah, just loved it. Let's see. Silent Cypher says, what up, CJ? Who's CJ? Do I not know CJ? Did I miss someone, CJ? Let's see. Expedition 33 was a surprise, such a surprise. It looks amazing. Kay Asante agreeing with me. Yeah, I thought it was just a pleasant, like out of nowhere, I really liked it. I thought that was really, really cool. I heard Stalker 2 looked rough, but glad that's not the case. I thought it looked good. I thought it looked good. So I will tell you that. I thought it looked good, and I did not get a bad vibe. Stalker looks to me like Metro, and they run kind of the same for me. And so that just kind of is what it is. But I was happy with it. It's like it's hard to get upset in any way, shape, or form at it because of the Ukraine thing, right? Like that's not just me. That's not just me, right? That's just in general. Let's see here. Want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's comment. Oh, Trio looked fun. Haven't played the demo yet. I was not good at it because I'm not good at Souls likes, but I got a really cool. I had a cool conversation with the developer. It was great to see Kyle Stevenson there doing his thing. I really want to give Kyle Stevenson his flowers. He was in his element and doing great and fielding questions and talking to people. It was really cool. Inotria is definitely a game that I think people should check out. It's very approachable for a Souls-like. They have a lot of systems in play where if you're not good at those games, like I'm not good at those games at all, but I can play Jedi Survivor and whatever the first one was. I'm tired, guys. And so like that's how easy it can be, or it can be as hard as like the most difficult stuff. So that's kind of neat. Don't let me forget to talk about Unknown 9. I really liked the game. Let's see. Josh 5150 says, "Hey Luke, how was the vibe surrounding Xbox at the show? I know a lot of fans have been down about the brand this year." The vibe was really good, actually. Getting in there, I had a little bit of a leg up on like getting to read the room because we got to go to media first. So I was fortunate enough to be in media this year, which was a huge emotional win for me because that was like one of my goals when I started XEP was to get the invite to the Xbox showcase after having gone in 2019 from being part of a different show. So it was an emotional thing for me. But it was cool. And so we go and we kind of go through everybody. There's a special line next to the Fan Fest line. We walked by, everyone was in great spirits. Everybody got jackets, these beautiful jackets, these that I'm sure you've seen online. And they had patches that you could put on it, and all the patches are lovely. I actually remind me, I thought I brought a pack of them up with me. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. I brought like things to show you guys. I guess I left the patches downstairs. I can go run and grab them at some point. But they have like patches for Metal Gear, Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, Stalker, stuff like that. So the jackets everybody was really excited about, and then they had custom hats where like they would press like a really cool image on. You get to pick your image and stuff. So the fans were all in good spirits prior to because of that. During the show, there was so much cheering and so much excitement, and like I was sitting up with media, or media and content creators. We were kind of above the FanFest group, and the FanFest group, they would not stop cheering. It was so great. It was just so cool to hear. And like the content creators up where we were, we didn't care either. We were just like, whoa, so excited. I was like 6 seats over from Jeff Keighley, who, by the way, doesn't use dark mode on his computer. I feel like everyone needs to know that. And he was rude to me multiple times while I was there. But, like bumping elbows with some really cool people, and all the fans were just cheering constantly. If you look at Steven Totillo's write-ups, one of the things he notes is that fans kept yelling out with just excitement and positivity. So there was a lot of things to really celebrate in the show, right? Like everybody, like at one point, I think it was Colt Eastwood, but I couldn't tell for sure. What's up? It's Timmy. Good to see you. I think it was Colt, but Colt yelled out, too many games. And then they just kept showing games, and it was cool. So that was fun. Yeah, it was a good vibe. I feel like everybody was really in good spirits. And then Fonz is the one that yelled too many games. Okay, Asante correcting me. Jay Fonzarelli was the one that yelled too many games. Nice. It was cool. It was cool. But it was a good vibe, man. The theater seemed really happy and really fun. I really enjoyed the vibe. So I think that a lot of people were happy. And then after the fact, I mean, afterwards, everybody was just kind of in awe of like, oh my gosh, Xbox did it. Like Xbox did it. Um, I couldn't believe it. Like I left that showcase with only I think 3 games that I wasn't interested in. And oddly enough, I want to say Nisa said it. I'm gonna pull back. Nisa said she's interested in the mouse game, Must Protect the Mouse. That was one that I didn't think was for me, but I really liked its tone to offset the rest of the showcase. And then there was a mech game, and I feel like one other, and the rest of the stuff I was like, yeah, I'm in. Cypher, I don't know, man. Hard to describe Jeff Keighley because cordial. He was cordial, but he wasn't very polite, I guess you would say. Anyone from Double Fine? Asked Chris 1H1D. I don't think so that I saw, but that doesn't mean anything because the only person I would know. Life is Strange, right? Thank you, Kev. Hometown Hero says Life is Strange is the other one. Yeah. Let's see. Double Fine. I would only know Tim Schafer, so I didn't see anyone from Double Fine, but like for sure they were in the room or around, like at least one, right? Oh, there you go. Asante saying I saw Tim Schafer. He was at the show as well. Well, there you go. Lucius Augustus, good to see you, Lucius. Saying he was behind Paris Lily. All right, well there you go. Of course I saw Paris and a number of other content creators, which was actually my favorite part. We went to a really nice dinner the first night, organized by, I want to say it was Jez Corden arranged it, and we were all kind of coming in from flights at different times, and it was neat because every few minutes somebody would walk up and we'd all be like, oh, it's King David, it's Lord Cog, it's Corkenstein, it's such and such, it's such and such. And so, it was neat because I'd walk up and like I'd see Kay Asante there. I know him from a screen, and it was like he was instant friendship, right? And then there were other people, again, I think I said this, where it's like, what's your content? And the moment they tell you, it's like click, 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 and then you get it. So that was fun. That was fun for sure. Let's see. Silence Everything is not always fun to meet big personalities. That's something that's kind of evident when you're in those rooms with some of those people, is that some of them are big personalities. They know it. They know their role. When I say know their role, let me make sure my wording is right here. They know the role that they inhabit because they've created it and cultivated it. And they also know what people expect of them, and they adjust it per setting, right? So when you're in the media section, they don't want people running up to them and getting excited. Sometimes we did. Shout out to Rod Ferguson, who was a great sport as we all bombarded him. Same with Jason Ronald and such. But like other times where it's like, no, we just want to meet, we just want to eat lunch or type my article or whatever it was. Like Stephen Totillo was work focused the entire time. I saw him several times. Every time a very polite, hey, Luke, or just, hey, how's it going, buddy? But at work, right? Like he's at work. That's his job. Jez Corden, that's his job. Like some of them are like that. Others are more like content creators where you're here to have the experience and then talk about it later, and everywhere in between, right? And I think that's kind of the neat, interesting way to go about it. Baron J67 saying Jason Ronalds is such a chill dude. Truly wonderful. I'm going to tell you all my Jason Ronald story. So he followed me a while back, maybe a year or so ago. And like, he can't answer some questions, right? Like he can't answer the, can you come on my podcast type questions, or can I interview you questions? When I met him in person, I went up to him. I was like, hey, how are you? My name's Luke Lore. He goes, Insipid Ghost. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, hey, XEP, good to see you, man. How are you? And I just flabbergasted. He knew who I was and respected it and appreciated it. I was like, I had no idea you even knew. He goes, when I follow somebody, I follow them. You do great work. That meant the world to me, right? Because to me, he's just this wonderful role model of industry personality. And so that was a really cool moment for me in meeting Jason Ronald, because he wasn't too big to say hello to a small podcaster. He wasn't too big to say, to take a picture or whatnot. I took a picture with Sarah Bond, which was lovely. She was very, very polite and sweet. Met her at the Capcom event. The Capcom event, I can only talk about Kunitsugami. I think I can only, everything. The embargo on Monster Hunter Wilds lifts later, so I can't talk about that one. And that was a cool thing to be a part of. So I'll talk about that at another time. Okay, I'll talk about that at another time once the embargo lifts on that one. But Kunitsugami was really fun. That was a good one for sure. For sure. Let's see. That's so wholesome. Yeah, it really was wholesome. It really was wholesome. He just genuinely meant it and was kind about it. Like, I appreciate that. To some, I'm a big content creator, and to others, I'm nowhere near, right? Like, to some, like, the numbers are always silly to try to worry about. But I know that when I'm in that room, I'm a pretty small presence. And so for him to be kind enough to take the time was really, really cool. Really, really cool. And I just can't say enough. Like, the best part of the whole trip was meeting people, right? Was just meeting people. I truly had a great time. I saw you at the showcase. Was that your bodyguard with you? You saw me at the showcase, Aerodamus? I didn't. Did you say hello? Did we talk? Who was my bodyguard? He might be talking about Ains. More like I was following Ains around. But we did a lot of linked content and stuff like that. If I saw you at the showcase, I hope you said hello. And I hope we said hi. One of my favorite people to meet, out of nowhere, Anubis, somebody who's been following XEP for a while, and he said, "Look for me. I'm in such and such place," but I missed it. I missed his message, and so I went back when we were in the theater together, and he's like, "I'm wearing a green shirt with a hat with lots of pins." Like, a green shirt, and like there's a room full of Xbox fans, but we all had jackets on. That he didn't wear his, so I looked and looked and looked. And then with like 3 minutes left before the showcase started, or before, I think it was Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, and Phil Spencer came out, I see him, I spot him, and so I kind of like, I had a gift for him. I had a couple giveaway gifts for people that either knew me or recognized me, or that I'd planned, but I had them all custom made, so I didn't have a lot. Like, I didn't have many to give because, I mean, money was tight. Like, I saved for 8 months to afford the trip, and I am burnt. Like, I'm out of dollars right now. It's like wild. But I was like, I wanted to make sure Anubis got something, so I went down, had a gift for him. He goes, "Hold on, I have something for you." We had a big hug and everything, and he said, "Hold on," and he made me this super cool pin. How cool is that? How cool is that? Right? It says XEP Xbox Expansion Pass. He made these like really cool pins, and he made a FanFest pin that he gave me as well. Xbox FanFest LA 24. And so, like, that was a very surreal moment. I could not believe it. Could not believe it. He made me feel the most special, like a celebrity, right? Which was really, really cool. So that was fun. That was fun and humbling and amazing. Chris asking, how are the nerves? They were okay. I think my anxiety got the best of me a couple times, but everybody around, like our crew, like Asante and John from Xbox Era, and Ains and Idle Sloth and Boom, I think they all knew when I was starting to get overwhelmed, and if they didn't, then they were extremely just polite the whole time. And they made a good, like, they could tell I just needed a break. So sometimes I'd just sit with the group and not talk, and I'd just kind of look around. And that was actually great. Because I felt very safe with all of them. I didn't feel like I had to be on with them, which is how I know they're good people, right? None of them pushed me to go far out of my comfort zone, except for one night. They were like, "Hey, stay in the lobby," because they knew I was tired. They were like, "Stay in the lobby. We're going to meet some great people." And I'm so glad I did stay. I'm so glad I did listen, because I got to meet some incredible people, developers, content creators that I wouldn't have normally met. Wonderful conversation with Miranda Sanchez from IGN, who I got to thank because she put out the best Gears of War coverage I've ever seen in her Hivebusters coverage. And like, she was a little caught off guard that I knew that, but I'd also been on Unlocked with her years ago, but haven't gone back on Unlocked, and I always wanted to. And so it was really, really cool. Really, really cool. Asante saying, we were squad. We really were, man. Everybody was so supportive. I got to meet Harjeet, which I haven't mentioned Harjeet's name. That meant the world to meet Harjeet because everybody was just kind. And so for somebody that has social concerns, I guess you would say, and the spectrum kind of rears itself when I'm overstimulated. I had a hard time in Summer Game Fest. Oh, Sour Blow. $20 super chat. Thank you, Sour Blow. You are special and you deserve a lot. You're a great person. Thank you, Sour Blow. I really appreciate that, man. I can't believe that's I'm very appreciative. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Um, thanks. Wow. Yeah, that was really, really cool of you to do. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, we were squad in general. Like, yeah, everybody took care of it. I got overwhelmed during the Summer Game Fest presentation. It was a lot of lights and a lot of bass. Like, it was a lot of bass. Like, the room was shaking, and it was just intense. But like when we got out, like seeing everybody and hugs and high fives, like it was just cool. I will say, like, the one that I think I just turned around and all of a sudden he was there was Baron J67. It was just like, boom, there he is. That's my buddy. And so that was fun. That was fun. Let's see. Matt Kennedy, what's up, Matt? By the way, Matt does great streams. I'll give him a shout out because I watched him play Hellblade after I had played Hellblade, but he also does this really cool, like, thing. He'll narrate the game as he plays it. I enjoy his streams there. It says, so awesome. Love seeing all the pictures you posted on Twitter. Thank you. I appreciate it. I put those same pictures on the YouTube channel. So if you're not a Twitter person, there's a community tab on the YouTube channel that you're watching right now, and you can see them. Really, really cool. Like, everybody wants to celebrate the big pictures of, like, Sarah Bond and I don't know, Rod Ferguson and whatnot. Like, those are cool. The ones that meant the most were the people that were like, can we get a picture? And it's like King David and Lord Cog. Lord Cog means the world to me. And I would not have gone, by the way. I will say this. I was not going to go to LA because I didn't at the time get into the Xbox showcase thing. And I was just like, that's okay. That's what I wanted, but not this year again. I'll get it next year. Like, and Cog was like, no, you're going. Sign up for this, sign up for this, sign up for this. You're going. And I think Asante had a similar conversation with his wife. I won't share your story, Asante, but, like, like the whole, like, should I, shouldn't I? And then he said, do it, go do it. And I did. And I got to meet just everybody. Meeting or seeing Rihanna Manuel was amazing. Seeing Danny Pena was really cool. I had a chance to meet Paris Lily in person, which I was glad to do. Because I can't get a read on Paris sometimes. And so I enjoyed meeting him in person, which was nice. As a creator, you're so humble and it shows. Glad you had fun. Thanks, Addie, too, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I need to do that. Good idea. I don't know what you need to do, but whatever idea I had, awesome. Awesome. You got to live vicariously through Ains and I. Yeah, Ains actually stayed an extra day and went to Ubisoft Forward, but my last day was Sunday, and then Monday I went to bed Sunday night, like, in LA, and then got up early and then flew out Monday. But I canceled I was gonna go play Star Wars. Like, I had a meeting for it and all, but it was at a different site, and I was just drained, and I could tell that I was drained. To talk about the nerves, I was wiped, and so I actually canceled my Star Wars. When Ains told me all about his experience, and it sounds amazing, but I needed a break. Got a bounce. Glad you're back safely. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. It's so cool seeing Timmy in here. Timmy and Lucius Augustus and Aerodemus. It's so cool to see you guys in here. Asante saying, I know exactly what you mean. Cog and King, Paris, yourself. It was really rejuvenating. Need to go back every year. Yeah. Yes. 100% need to go back every year. That's something that, like, it was so special to be there amongst friends, and amongst people that are just trying to go through the space. And there's this weird nebulous space that I think we as content creators inhabit, being that we're not quite media, we're not press, we're not fans, we're all of those things melded at various points in our roles. And so each experience is different. And so I really enjoyed kind of watching that. I could tell that the full press people were a little, these guys. And then other times they didn't care. And I watched that reaction. You learn a lot about people and how they You see them in work environments and in relaxed environments and in environments where they think they're insulated, right? Like when we went to the media room, it was clear which people did not want us there. I could tell that. And then I saw others that were just happy to be there, and happy to be excited and happy to be welcoming to others. And so that was really, really fun. And you learn a lot about like who matters and who cares about your content, people that know your stuff. Like there's no way that all of us in that squad that Asante and I were talking about, none of us have the time to watch all the content we each other all create. That's just not a realistic, not with jobs and with making our own content, with families, with playing the games. There's no way we all get to see it, but there is support there, and you can tell who genuinely cares about supporting other people. And that was very evident. I'm glad you got to see that end of it, says Baron. Yeah, that was interesting. Meeting those that didn't want you there or didn't care. That was interesting, right? And it could just be maybe they didn't care for Luke Lore, and that's okay too, right? But the ones that like open arms, handshakes, willing to see you, willing to be kind, that was cool. That was really, really cool. For sure. Well, guys, it's an AMA. Ask me questions. I was there for Summer Game Fest. I played a lot of games at I knew a lot of games at Play Days, which was really cool. I played Path of Exile. Unknown 9, I saw a great demo for Unknown 9 that has no embargo, which I really love. Really loved Unknown 9. That was a really, really good demo. I'm excited for that one. It's far along, very playable. It's got this really cool system where you can sneak, you can go attack, and then you can jump into and take over enemies' bodies, which is really, really cool. And that's like the loop that they have. Matt Kennedy saying, glad you're back safe, man. Enjoyed your coverage. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. So I really enjoyed that one. I saw a question from, I knew who were the media by them not wearing the bomber jacket. Yeah, that was for sure. Like I wore it because I was like, whatever, it seems amazing, and I'm here, and I'm a content creator. So I was conscious of that. But what's funny, Aerodemus, is I've been a journalist, like a full press journalist before in the world of soccer, in the world of sports, and I've been, it's just weird dynamic, but I purposely wore a shirt that had no logos on it in case that was the vibe, so that way there would be no bias if that was the expectation. But then immediately upon being there was a full press room where like Jason Schreier and whatnot interacted with and had private BCD interviews with people like Matt Booty and such. And then there was the media room. We were in the media room. So like the Xbox properly planned that out. So that was neat. Let's see. Hoping it's not 2 steps forward, 1 back for the Xbox team. I agree. We saw a lot. I mean, that's so many great games. But not a ton of gameplay for each, for sure. Best game you played that you're allowed to talk about. Path of Exile 2. Great time. Oh, and I will say, shout out to Capcom, the Kunitsugami, a game that I never thought I would like. I really enjoyed Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. That's not a Luke Lore game, and I really enjoyed it. So that game is just beautiful, and you can move. Oh, shout out to Silent Cypher, gifting 5 XEP memberships. Silent Cypher in the house. Thank you so much. I don't know how to spotlight the gifted. There it is. Boom. Thank you, Silent. Yeah, man, you're the best, dude. You're the best. So that was really, really cool. Baron J67 says, how do you feel about Exoborn and Hyper Lightbreaker? Hold on. Just want to make sure Exoborn's no embargo on Exoborn. Okay. So, and I'm right at the time where I could talk about Path of Exile 2. Okay, good. So Exoborn I thought looked really, really good. Okay. Exoborn was so cool. So I really enjoyed seeing that one because like it's an extraction shooter, but you don't feel like it's an extraction shooter. You drop in like Warzone or Fortnite, very Anthem-esque. You drop in, there's dynamic weather happening. You can drop in different biomes, whatnot. We dropped in Exoborn, and there were 3 tornadoes happening simultaneously because in this world, pollution's gotten so bad that like the weather is just gone. The ecosystems are destroyed. So we dropped in 3 storms. There were robots we saw being shot and fighting. Well, I didn't play it, by the way. We were watching and being talked to from a PR rep. Incredible gunfight happening. And then it started to get too hectic. And so just pressed a button, whipped out. The tornadoes are still going. Pulled a button, parachute pops out, and you just coasted away from that fight and into another one. Really cool take on an extraction shooter. If you like Anthem, and I know a lot of people that are watching this channel probably do, then Exoborn is one you need to keep your eye on. It's an open world extraction shooter. I really dug it. One of the cool things they have is a like a risk meter, so you can do quick drops and low risk, not low level loot, but like not a ton of loot. So if you got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can drop in and do that mission, or you can do like an hour long go with your friends. Exoborn looked dope, looked really, really dope. I'm excited for Exoborn. Put that one on your radar. Put that one on your radar for sure, because that's a very, very cool looking game. I did not get to play Replaced. I just watched it being played, and that was just a timing thing. Hyper Lightbreaker, I don't see I did not get to play Hyper Lightbreaker. I saw it and I talked to the team, but let me make sure I don't break embargo on that one too. I don't see quickly the embargo on Hyper Lightbreaker, but I'll say what I saw looked really cool. I watched it being played, and it looks like the trailer, so I can say that part. And I think it looked great. Hometown Hero says never lucky on gifted subs. Kev, you don't need a sub though. Like, you don't need one. You're my best friend. It's like whatever. Let's see. Sourblowth says I'm doing work. I'm at work doing overtime. Might not talk much, but enjoying the talk helps time go by. Sourblowth, you're awesome, and I appreciate you in general just for being here, not just for the super chat earlier, but really just for being here, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. How hype was the room when Gears was announced? Were people screaming and clapping? Were you? Yeah. So, Jose, I immediately knew it was Gears when I saw the logo on the TV, and I immediately just clued in on that it was a prequel. And Ains and I started slapping each other's leg like, oh, it's Gears, Gears, Gears. And then the room started yelling Gears, Gears, Gears. And then when we saw that locust, it was on. The whole room erupted in cheers. We were all super excited. It looked incredible. It was dark. It was very violent. And then, Jose, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. I'm talking to Cliff Blazinski tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern on this channel about it. So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to ask him his thoughts and kind of take him through it and whatnot. So if you are a Gears fan and you want to hear Cliff Blazinski talk about it, just stick in here tomorrow. I'd love to have you guys just tune in. 3 p.m. I haven't put it on socials yet. So, but yeah, it was such a stoked vibe for it, and I'm there for it. The only thing, so I love that Gears of War is the title and it's not Gears. I do not like that it's called E-Day. I wish it was Gears of War Emergence Day, but whatever. You know, what are you gonna do? Which games are you most excited for or most looking forward to get to play or have played at the event? So super excited for Star Wars, super excited for Assassin's Creed. Missed my appointment for Star Wars because I wasn't feeling so hot. But stoked for both of them. Unknown 9 looks amazing. Expedition 33 looked great. Honestly, Atomfall looked incredible. So excited to have Atomfall kind of in there. I think Atomfall looks great. So that was pretty cool. Path of Exile 2 better than Diablo. I don't know that I can say that from like a half-hour demo. I played as a warrior. I really loved the sound design, really loved the visuals, it's a little bit like zoomed in a little bit closer. And I really liked that. So I think Path of Exile is a nice alternative. When they showed me the skill trees in Path of Exile, I was like, good Lord. But I got to go hands-on with Path of Exile, and I really liked it. It's in my early time, because we played very low level, mind you. It's slower than Diablo, and that was cool. like in a good way. Like it slows down the gameplay and it's distinctive enough and different. So there you go. Let's see here. Did they say when Replace will be released? I didn't see. How would you rank the room excitement for each game? I would imagine Gears is number 1, but can you say the next 4 games? Yeah, Sour Blow. So Gears was, I think, the most excited everybody had for it. I think when State of Decay got shown, I think we were all really excited for that one. So State of Decay is definitely up there, and I loved it. I loved it. So I really think State of Decay moved some people in the right direction for that. I think Snake Eater somehow caught some people off guard. Expedition 33 people were really excited about. I'm thinking Perfect Dark, I think, got the most like from people, at least in my quick thought. I think people were really just surprised to see Perfect Dark overall. And so that was something. I need to find like the list. I had a list and I closed it like a dum-dum. I had like a full list of all the games in front of me. Let me just pull that back up. Season gaming. I'll go there. I thought seeing Dragon Age, asks Hometown Hero. Dragon Age was interesting because I think some people were taken aback by it because it wasn't what they wanted it to be, but it didn't look bad. As a non-Dragon Age person, I found it more approachable. But Ains was next to me and he loves Dragon Age and he was like, I don't know about that. So I thought that, that's telling in and of itself. If anybody's got a keyboard right now, I'm trying to like navigate to find just a basic recap and I'm just getting overwhelmed. No one's got a basic recap. Aerodema says, watching the showcase with other people made the experience grander. I agree. I thoroughly agree. And seeing other people be excited for stuff that I was excited for was cool. So like seeing the Starfield Shattered Space and then people being excited about it was cool. Feeling the excitement for things like Expedition 33, like Snake Eater, like Atomfall, I was like, okay, very, very cool. State of Decay. I could not have been more excited for State of Decay. I thought that was just dope. The Doom trailer. Oh, that's what I need to point out. The Doom trailer was hype. That trailer was so good. And the problem with that trailer was that it was early in the show. And so it was not overridden, but like there were so many other excitement points. Gears was the peak. Doom was probably second or third for sure. And that was just wild to say the least. I thought that Doom trailer was in friggin' credible. So that was cool. The gameplay of Fable and South by Midnight, Aerodemus pointing out, yeah, agreed. The gameplay of those was great. I was someone who was not sold on Fable when I first saw it because I'm like, where's the gameplay? I don't get the humor. Like, I never played the first Fable, so it doesn't click. It just didn't, but after playing Hellblade and playing that where there is no HUD and that is gameplay and it does look that good, I was a better believer in Fable. And so seeing it there, I was like, yeah, okay, you got me. You win. And then of course, like it's all in Game Pass, so like easy. As far as Dragon Age, it wasn't as dark as the first ones. But as a Dragon Age person, I still liked it. Agreed, Kev. I think a lot of people are like that. And that's just how it is. Like I think it's just a new tone. It's a new direction for them. And I'm okay with that. I think it's more approachable for sure. Some people were saying it looks like a Fortnite seasonal event, which I thought was harsh, but also that's a compliment in some ways because like Fortnite does really well. So, also no Halo Wars 3. Man, don't count it out. Because like Age of Mythology exists, right? That was in the showcase, so don't count it out. Asante, we live in a post Hellblade 2 world. You're right. Nerd Chat saying, for all the peeps here, don't forget to hit the like button for Luke and Logan. Hey, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like button. Thank you guys. And I'll shout out Cypher and Sour Blow for the financial support as well. Thank you guys. Keep asking questions, guys. Keep asking questions. I'll talk about Summer Game Fest for a second. I thought Summer Game Fest was pretty disappointing. Next to the Xbox showcase on its own, it was just okay, right? Like I didn't leave Summer Game Fest like, oh, that was terrible. And I don't think anybody did, but I don't think anybody left thinking that was great. Like in the room for Summer Game Fest, I did not feel vibes, right? I did not feel that everybody was like, yeah, this is amazing. If anything, it felt muted and the music was overcompensating with it because the bass was so loud. So I think that was part of the problem, was that like Summer Game Fest just didn't land. Hometown saying SGF was bad. Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. I just think it was good. Like when Jeff Keighley put out his ABCD rating, I voted D, and so did everybody else, it seems, because it was like 250,000 plus people that were all kind of going towards it wasn't good. And yeah, it wasn't good. And despite not enjoying my interactions with Jeff Keighley at the showcase, it's hard to put on Summer Game Fest, Game Awards, and work with Opening Night Live at Gamescom and have something big for each one. Games just take too long and they're too big to develop. And honestly, the umbrella that Xbox now commands of Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios, like they didn't give up anything. I thought they'd give Jeff Shattered Space or something. And so he really just had one or two little things to work with. Like even the Space Marine stuff was pretty light, you know. Baron saying it was very indie PC heavy. Yeah. It was like Jeff wanted to have a bad time, so Xbox was set up to wow even more. I can only speculate, but I do not get the vibe that Jeff enjoys the Xbox community or Xbox people. But that is speculation, and that's biased because I host an Xbox show and I had a bad experience with him, so I recognize that. But I got the feeling that like he wasn't happy. Even watching him so this was something that I noted, and we had a conversation with the squad, as it were, at the showcase. But yes, Asante, there it is. I was literally about to say it, Asante. Every time the lights dimmed and he walked off stage, his body language was like, I don't want to be here. I don't like this. I'm not here for it. I did not see a Jeff Keighley that was excited or passionate as I've seen before. Like I've seen Keighley queued up and excited, and I did not see that at Summer Game Fest. And I guess it was just odd. It was like he knew, and I don't wish that on him, to be very clear. I do not wish that on him. I think we need Jeff Keighley in the industry. I think we need people like him in the industry, but his body language was definitely downtrodden. And you could chalk that up to a number of things unrelated to the show. Maybe he wasn't feeling good. Maybe he got some bad personal news. Maybe he ate something that wasn't right. But he did not seem happy to be there. He did not seem happy to be there. You agree as well, Baron? Yeah. I'm glad to know that it wasn't just me, and I know that it had to have been Asante. He and I both we kind of all felt like that. He just wasn't excited this time. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Jose dropping in with a question. He says, obviously meeting content creators was incredible, such a great crew, but how was it meeting Xbox execs? Any cool stories or experiences there? So I was in the Capcom booth for media when Sarah Bond and Jason Ronald walked through, and I turned around and like I kind of got like not stunned, but I kind of like turned into Sarah Bond. She was just kind of like right here. So I was like, and I just go, Sarah Bond. And she looks at me and goes, yes, hi. And I was like, hello. And like, I had that like half second. I'm like, hi, how are you? My name's Luke. Nice to meet you. And I'm Sarah, and it's like, I know. And I think she was very politely, she had on the exec face in that particular role. I was like, do you mind if I take a picture with you? Is that okay? And she said, yes, these people put on all this makeup on me. I absolutely am willing to take a picture. And she did. She was very polite, very kind. I could tell she was very proud. I saw her the day prior to the Xbox Game Showcase. So when I met her, we hadn't yet had the showcase. I met her on Saturday. at the Capcom booth. And then we went into an NDA'd event together, where we did not interact in that event. But in that room, were all the big timers, all big timers. And it was very strange to be in there with them because, like, looking around, I'm like, are you kidding me? Asante said, please tell me you spoke with her about getting an interview. I would love to see that. Asante, I know that I've told you why I want to interview her, but I did not get the vibe that it was the right time to ask. I felt like she would have been ushered in, I would have been ushered out. And I saw Jason Ronald behind her, and I didn't want that to happen. So I did not ask about getting an interview with her. I just got the vibe that would not have been the right time to ask her that. But I know she would have PR'd, been like, oh, we can talk about it. But I don't think I would have been the right. Yeah. Yeah, next time. Anubis over on Twitter saying, did you get to meet Phil? I've yet to have the pleasure. I did not meet Phil this time. I was in a room with him where we saw a game together. And he smiled at me. And actually, I turned. It was another one of those, like, turn and just look at him. Somebody said something in this room that was meant to be funny, but it wasn't. And everybody did like a polite chuckle. And I turned and looked at it, and I kind of like was rolling my eyes. And I didn't know that he was there because he kind of got secretly brought in. And we locked eyes, and he just goes, and I was like, hey. But it was like 3 feet apart, it was funny. But I have met Phil before 5 years ago, and he was very kind then. You do get the vibe that Phil's a gamer and Jason Ronald is a gamer, and that some of the others maybe are not gamers. But I met some wonderful people too. So I met Aaron Greenberg again, which was nice. So yeah. Let's see. Aerodema says, I wonder if the Xbox Showcase becomes the biggest thing going every summer. More third party will want to attach themselves to the Xbox Showcase. That's a great question, Aerodemus, because I will tell you, I am being brought along the ride that Xbox is now going on, being a more third party based publisher, because I was never bothered by them putting Pentiment or Hi-Fi on other platforms. I'm not mad about any of it, I don't think, but I do kind of like, you can even hear it in my voice now. Like, there's a pause because it's like, Sea of Thieves. It only helps the game. It's not bad for the game. Gears of War, Halo. It doesn't hurt them. How does it help Xbox? Well, it helps them make more games like Diablo and COD and everything else being multi-platform helps those games live. It helps fund the system of Game Pass. And so I'm okay with that. But it is strange to think of it like, it's just strange because, like, COD being multi-platform makes perfect sense. Don't ever go exclusive with that. But to lose Halo and Gears as exclusives, to lose Forza as exclusives is strange, but not bad. What's the selling point? The selling point is Game Pass. And I will tell you right now, if I would be shocked if Xbox console sales and Game Pass doesn't go up big time, because they nailed it with that COD presentation. Amusingly, though, the COD presentation, half the media left. Like, the fans were still in there, the content creators were still in there, some of the media were still in there, but half the media left after the Xbox showcase and didn't stay for the COD Direct, which I thought was interesting. Anubis was living it up on the blue team. I see you, sir. Hope you had fun. Was he at the FanFest Direct? Is the FanFest Family Feud thing? Because I didn't get to go to that one. Big Boss, what's up, Big Boss? I don't know that I've seen you in my chat before. I hope you're doing well. The pacing of the Xbox showcase was great. I think more showcases need that kind of pacing. That is a great call out, and I will totally agree with you. The showcase paced itself very well. The parts where I kind of like not even zoned out, where I stepped out, where not stepped out physically, but like where I like took a breath, I guess you would say, the go get water. I got to tell you, like, even they weren't bad. I think Age of Mythology looked really good. The mouse game looks really good for what it is. Life is Strange, which my buddy Kev reminded me, like, those aren't my games. And I still thought they were well paced, put into the show at the right spots. And like, I'm thinking about my friend Ellery Woods Parker III. They love those games. So if COD's not their jam, or Gears isn't, or Doom isn't, they still had something there. And I thought that was really good. Very, very approachable. Okay. Anubis was at the Blue Feud team. Very cool. Big Boss says, I'm good. I've been watching you for a couple of months, but never said anything. I love your content. Big Boss, humbly, thank you. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you lurking all those times. And thanks for being willing to say something now, man. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Guess Who 107. If this is the case, do you think it's possible to keep Halo single player as the exclusive and use the multiplayer on PlayStation to get players into the Xbox ecosystem? On paper, that sounds great. I don't know if in practice it makes sense. What they did with Halo Infinite was decouple Halo single player from multiplayer, meaning that they could update the multiplayer separately from the single player. I think an engine switch is in process right now for Halo, and it'll be a while before we see Halo back. But going forward, like the ability to put single player on PlayStation is a good thing. I think if you put Halo single player for sale on or with any of them, if you have Game Pass and you just get it on Xbox, there's a win right there. Like almost all those games, not all, but like almost all of them are on Game Pass from the showcase. What a win for Xbox Game Pass subscribers, right? If you're on PlayStation and you still want to play them and you pay your $70, like what's the problem there? I don't think that's an issue. I think it helps the brand, but it is difficult to navigate that space and figure out what's what, right? Yeah, it's a tough question. It's like I don't care about COD being on PlayStation, but Halo does feel weird. But I'm not upset by it. Like I want Halo to live, and so Halo's gonna live. Let's see. All right, bud, gotta go. I head to a family event. Great to have you back. Can't wait to hear more. Good to see all the love for the show. Absolutely, man. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. Guys, I got a few more minutes, 5-10 minutes tops. So please keep coming with your questions. Games I saw. Unknown 9 was incredible. Anotria last song looked good. Trying to think about stuff that wasn't embargoed. Obviously, the Xbox showcase. Got to tell you, the incredible just the range of stuff they had. Flight Sim looked good. Indie, I thought, fell a little flat compared to all the other stuff. Thank you, Silent Cypher, sent me an image. Indie, I thought, fell flat next to the other stuff, but Indie still looked great. Diablo 4's expansion looked great. South by Midnight remains my surprise, followed by Perfect Dark. Those two surprised me by how much I wanted them, because South by Midnight, the stop motion kind of irked me, when we first saw the game, and then to see the gameplay move fluidly, and to know, thanks to Asante, that you can turn that off, the stop motion element. There for it. Mixtape, I thought, got a lot of people excited, but doesn't speak to me much. But I think it's a really cool looking game. I'm so excited for Perfect Dark in a way that I wasn't expecting to be, because I don't care. I don't have a legacy love for Perfect Dark, but it still looks good. And so that was fun. Let's see. Let me show you. I just want to. This was my Summer Game Fest badge right there. That was pretty cool. Anubis is here. Anubis, I don't know if you were in the chat, but I did show off the cool pins you made, man. Yeah, I did show that off. That was a high honor that you were willing to make that. Thank you. Let's see. Fragpunk, a lot of people were interested in, but interested, not stoked for, because do you need another 5v5 shooter? I don't know. Like Concord, I don't know. Let me point out some Game Pass games that we got, right? Let me point out Game Pass. Flintlock's coming to Game Pass on July 18th, which is soon. That's pretty darn cool. Age of Mythology is September 4th. Stalker is September 6th. Shattered Space DLC, we don't have a date for, but you have to assume, I would think, September, October, November in there. Flight Sim is on November 19th, 2 days before my birthday. Avowed, we think, thanks to Obsidian themselves leaking it by accident, November 12th. Indiana Jones doesn't have a date. Replaced doesn't have a date. And then in 2025, Doom, Fable, South by Midnight, Fragpunk, Winterboro, Expedition 33, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers. That was one that I was like, what is that? Mixtape. And then my one that caught me off guard as well was Atomfall. Very excited for that. Let's see. South by Midnight, is that a Shadow of the Colossus Monster Hunter vibe? I don't know if I would say that. I don't think I didn't get that vibe. I didn't get that vibe. I did not get the Shadow of Colossus Monster Hunter vibe. I really am excited for a few days from now when we can talk about Monster Hunter. Cough. That's the one with the cards. Which one was the one with the cards? The Fragpunk? Yeah. That's the one where you have like the cards that like augment your abilities and stuff. Yeah, that's what that one is. Mixtape says Asante, the mixtape dev made the Artful Escape. If you dig music games, mixtape looks to be awesome. I do not necessarily dig music games, but I'm excited to see mixtape kind of in action. So Asante, I made you a mod. I hope you don't mind. Any other questions you guys have for me before we kind of log out here? I will be happy to answer them. And of course, I'll be back on Saturday with Logan. Logan and I will be back Saturday. The weekend after, I'm visiting my father and my mother for a joint Mother's Father's Day celebration that we didn't get to have at the timing wise. But I will be meeting with them. So I don't know what we're going to do with XCP that weekend. I don't know if Logan wants to do it with somebody else or if he wants to take a break, because I'm trying to be cognizant of his thing as well. And then tomorrow, if the schedule holds, 3 p.m., I will be rocking with Mr. Cliff Blazinski here, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Shout out to our boy Suddy in the group chat saying he's going home from the hospital. Yes. Oh, that's so good to hear. If you guys don't know, Suddy is one of our closest friends. He actually started listening to XEP, became part of our gaming group, and he got 2 new organs 3 weeks ago. Got a new kidney and new pancreas at the same time, which is pretty amazing. So I'm super glad he's going home. Oh, that's good news. Let's see. Will Broke Boy Lewis says, why do you think they didn't give release dates for Aura, Indie, Avowed, Towerborn, Starfield expansions since they've been advertising since the January Direct? Great question. If I had to guess, it's twofold, because they've got a very crowded end of the year. Aura, Indie, Avowed, Towerborn, Starfield, plus COD, plus Diablo expansion, and Flight Sim. So they're probably working on navigating what goes where marketing wise. I don't mean that as a joke like Hellblade marketing does or doesn't, right? But like COD is a marketing machine. If I had to guess, they're looking at right now the reception from the showcase, whether or not console sales or Game Pass sales go up or down, and then strategically placing these games in. That's what I think is happening. Aura and Flight Sim, I think, are non-issues in that I don't think they are talking to the core gamer audience. The core gamer audience, mind you. Towerborn has an uphill climb. I don't know this. This is inferencing by me. I don't know anything. I've not played it. I've not been in the betas or alphas or any of that. But I think people have been playing it, and Towerborn is soon. And I got the feeling Towerborn was going to be a shadow drop and then wasn't. I don't know that. I have no idea. I didn't ask anybody. I don't have any inside info. I promise you. I just don't know. But like I would have thought Towerborn been out by now. Avowed. Hey, shout out to Avowed, by the way. Weirdly not showing this in the showcase, but in the extended the Xbox podcast, Avowed going third person instantly shoots up my interest list. I am instantly more excited to play Avowed. The idea that I can play Avowed in third person, yes, I'm on board. I want to play this game. I was not big on Avowed. I was very lukewarm on it, and now I am excited for Avowed. So there you go. Anubis says, did you see any Ubisoft stuff? Not a ton. Star Wars had Deadeye mode and Avatar DLC coming next month. Anubis, I don't think you were in here. I skipped my Star Wars meeting. I was going to go see it on Sunday, but I was just not feeling. I was tired. I was wiped. And I was getting I was overwhelmed. And so I took a break. I was like, I canceled on them and I apologized profusely. And I said, I wouldn't have been in the right mind to play it anyway, but Ains played it and kind of ran me through what was going on with it. So, Big Boss says the games that stood out to me were Expedition 33, Gears E-Day, Fable, Doom, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Black Ops 6. That's a great list, man. I agree with every single one of those. Add Avowed to it, add Atomfall to it, add South by Midnight to it. That was great. That was great, man. Silent Cypher, thank you for the picture in Twitter. That has been very helpful since. Avowed keeps getting better and better, honestly, says Anubis. I agree. When do you think Xbox will have another developer direct? I think you're going to get one in September, August or September. I think you have a developer direct ahead of Shattered Space and ahead of Avowed. I think Avowed needs another look, maybe even indie, right? Like maybe you do like one of those like not quite a state of play style thing that PlayStation would do, but like a developer direct. I think you do another one September. Yeah, September makes sense. September makes sense because if November, we presume November is Game Awards, right? And they've got Flight Sim on the 19th in November. Yeah, I think you do a developer direct in September. September feels like a weird time for developer direct, though, doesn't it? Like you don't say September and it makes sense. It doesn't feel right, but timing wise, you need another one. Avowed in third person is the jam. Will Lewis says, I finished Hellblade 2, the first run, didn't really like the ending. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I loved Hellblade 2. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I do think it ends, and I won't spoil anything. It ends in a like, wait a minute, are we done? But one of my favorite boss fights is the firefight, and that's all I'll say. Hometown Hero says Game Awards is December. Is that confirmed for this year? It's December. It usually is. I don't know. I did see that Obsidian didn't. Yeah, they did release that it was November 12th, but then they pulled that back off. So it's kind of odd that they would not show third person in the actual direct, but on the Xbox podcast, which feels strange. And then they would not give the date, but they've got a date in mind. So it's just figuring that out. So always been the second weekend in December. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Will says he loves Hellblade 2 itself, just disappointed by the ending. That's fair. I think it was a it lacked the oomph that I thought the rest of the game had. So I get you on that one. Particularly the last boss did not click for me. What game on the Xbox do you think deserves a show next? This was a Family Feud question. What game on Xbox? Perfect Dark. Yeah, Perfect Dark, because no one really cares about Perfect Dark in the big picture, and that's not a dig, right? But like that's one of those legacy nostalgia titles that only talk to a small group. So if you can have a Fallout effect, a Fallout quality show for Perfect Dark, instantly people are excited. Because I think State of Decay would be too close to Walking Dead. Don't ever do a Call of Duty one. It'll just too many comparisons. It won't work. Diablo, too many comparisons to the incredible cinematics. Doom, it's been done. Doesn't work. South by Midnight would be dope. Wouldn't that be dope? Wouldn't that be dope? Tough tone to click, but that'd be dope. Asante said Hi-Fi Rush deserved a show. Yo, if they could pull it off, there you go. Whew. Such a disappointment how Tango was handled. Yeah, it makes sense on paper. It still hurts. Big Boss, when do you think Final Fantasy 16 will be announced for Xbox? I do not know, my friend. I do not know. But I can tell you what, Square Enix is doing things with Xbox. There's your little nugget of info. And for the record, I didn't have to break a rule to tell you that. So there you go. Perfect Dark show would be awesome. Yeah, agree. Perfect Dark. Yep. Fully agreed. Nostalgia is a big role in the showcase. Gears, Perfect Dark, Doom, Fable felt like 2007. Yeah, I think you're right. The difference between the Perfect Dark legacy play is we've had a great Doom game recently in the last like 5 years. We've had great Gears games recently, last 5 years. Fable's been 10 plus, and Perfect Dark's been even longer. So I think that's kind of the difference in them. But I agree. Luke, when do you think we'll see something about The Last Night again? I don't even remember which one the last night is. I remember the name. I don't even remember what it was about. Does it involve a 9 with square? No, Silken it does not. It does not, my friend. Oh, actually, no, I can't. I don't know. What I'm thinking of does not, but you are going to see more Square Enix Xbox friendship. I know that's for sure. That was happening. It just didn't happen to me. Saw an opinion piece article in Forbes titled "South by Midnight has brought back my faith in video games." That's pretty cool to see. Did Paul Tassi write it? Because Paul Tassi was uncharacteristically excited about Xbox. So that was wild to see. Red B says, I'm at work, but thanks for sending shout outs to the crew while you were in California. We'll catch playback later. Hey, that's great, man. I appreciate you. It was really cool to see, to jump into the Discord and say hi to people, but it was all very go there. And so like I really had a hard time trying to keep up with everything, with the people in person, with the internet, with it. So I've actually not watched any coverage back. I've been trying to take it a day at a time. I think Tokyo Game Show is where we'll see Final Fantasy 16 announcement for Xbox. I hope so, man. I know you're getting stuff. You are getting stuff with Square Enix. I know that. The last night was replaced, same art style. Oh, all right. Don't know the author that did. Okay, guy, it wasn't Paul Tassi. Interesting. Okay, cool. All right, guys. I think that's a good place to kind of wrap it up for this Let's Talk. It was good to talk to you guys. Tune in tomorrow, provided all things hold. We'll be chatting with Cliff tomorrow. If not, that means something came up. So please don't take, so it goes. But right now, 3 p.m. we'll be on. We'll chat gears. Please feel free to be there. Bring your questions. It'll be a good time. All right, everybody. That's going to be it for me. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.